Good morning to every Chelsea fan and good morning to every Premier League team that your team have scored in the Premier League this season. Yes, I want to quickly talk about our performance last night. I think we had a decent game, even though we're a little bit shaky here and there, but overall we had a decent game. We're a bit shaky, but we are still somehow compact. We didn't concede too many chances. I'll start from, I think I'll be talking about each personnel one after the other, most especially the starting players. I won't talk about the players that came on later on during the course of the match because they didn't add too much to do. They didn't have too much to do rather. So first of all, I'll start with Sanchez. I think maybe at time. I think we need another new goalkeeper. I don't know how much ready is spend that, so I don't want to put so much pressure on him. But we can actually get another world class goalkeeper, or probably try Penders in the next couple of games and see if he's actually ready. Because the Aula Sanchez did yesterday, I can't just get it out of my head. Who could have won the game comfortably? Sanchez alone gave them 2 goals. Imagine. And talking about our defenders, I think Lacroix is the man. What he actually gave us is the kind of stability we've been wanting. If you guys actually noticed, there were situations where he was caught 1v1 in like a couple of occasions and he actually stepped in and actually won most of his 1v1 duels. I think the only one he didn't actually win was the one of Joshua King in second half where he actually beat him and took a shot at goal like that and the shot went off target. Aside from that, Lacroix was actually excellent. That was the stability we actually needed. Josh Archempong was decent, but he lacked composure just quite a few times. But that's why I've been clamoring that he needs to go on loan and get good playing time and actually come back and be ready for next season. Because when Fofana is back, Fofana will actually be playing the RCB. Leverkusen, I don't know, maybe don't fault him much. He was injured for majority of the last season and he didn't play. I think he had 2 or 3 competitive games last season, and it's just starting again. So I would not really fault him for yesterday, but or probably maybe he's trying to adjust to call play mostly as CCB. That's and Lacroix is the one playing that role, and maybe he's trying to. He was a bit shaky, but he was still decent. He got his head in the game, even with the yellow card, he was still decent. And let me talk about Ato and Gusto. Gusto is not him. The Ronaldinho of right backs is not him at all. I don't know. It's not him. Maybe he had the flamboyant performance in our last season game, and now Gusto is actually back to default setting. Not that Ato was not decent, but Ato playing wing back is the problem. Ato cannot give the width that somebody like Mugarujas actually needs. Do you understand? I think to actually get the best out of Mugarujas, I think somebody like maybe we've not seen him. Pep Chavaria will actually do that for him. I think that's the only solution. And coming into our midfield, I think our midfield was a little bit shaky and it's kind of understandable. We could not get into the game yesterday because of our midfield. The combination of Lavia and James. James is not like a controller in midfield. James is more like a shield. And there was nobody to actually help us control the midfield. It's one of the reasons why I believe if we're going to be losing Enzo Fernandez, we need to get in somebody that can actually do the job. I'm not here to actually support what Enzo Fernandez is actually doing at the moment. In fact, I want him out of the club at the moment, but we need somebody to actually do his job, at least that can still manage to do his job pending the time. I think Anderson and Bako can actually do that, but I mean, I'm worried about Anderson's age and I'm worried about Bako's adaptation. And going forward, the Palmer that we've actually missed, Jesus Christ, Cole Palmer, that is him. See, forget about the number 9 calls. I think Jao Pedro is the man. Jao Pedro is too good for a course to actually hold him down. Maybe we can all actually conclude that what actually affected those that actually had a number 9 in the time past was either mentality issue or probably they were not good enough because I wouldn't say some players were not good enough because they were so good in their former clubs, like most especially Fernando Torres. I would back him, but I think he had a mentality issue with the number 9 jersey. Apart from that, and Mugarujas was decent too. I saw a post on Twitter this morning. Somebody was trying to like criticize Mugarujas. I'm not saying maybe he was exceptional yesterday, but he was decent, saying he did not see all those middle carries that he used to do from Aston Villa. I think I quoted the post. I said, "What the role and the demand that Alonso is actually asking from him is different from what he did at he was doing for Aston Villa. Yesterday he occupied the opposite of OOP out of possession. He was playing as LM because I think we sat our base was 4-4-2 out of possession because Palmer shifted to SS anytime we are out of possession. So he was playing LM, he was occupying the left wing if I'm correct, and he was playing as half 10 too. So Palmer had freedom more than him yesterday. I think that was out. I think he will still be he's still adjusting to that kind of new rule, and I know that it will come good for us. I'm very 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 happy, and we have good bench to players that can actually come on and actually play for us too. I don't know. I think Gittins was on the bench yesterday. I don't know what the future will say for Gittins because Koenda came in over Gittins yesterday. I think that's a statement from Alonso. I don't know. Koenda is this kind of person. He has the hunger, and that is what Gittins is actually talented, but the hunger is not there. We can all see that. Hope Chelsea 3 points in the bags, and I hope we could keep going up from there. But nonetheless, we need to sort out our goalkeeper issues. Thank you.